We're back here with my good friend, Jim Friesen from Portage M&A Advisory. Jim, thank you again for staying with me here. So I want to talk about habit building because I think that's a really crucial thing. You know, we talked about schooling, we talked about your personal experience, we talked about employment afterwards. Let's get into what you did to become not just financially, but more abled, just in everyday life. So I want to ask you, financially specific first, what habits did you build from an early age to, I guess, just be more confident with the money that you had coming in?
Right. I mean, I was influenced by my parents, and obviously they grew up in a generation where there were hardships. So my parents said, listen, you're going to put away 15% of everything you earn.
15?
Right? 15%.
15.
And I don't know why they came up with that number, but that's kind of, it was ingrained in me. And you're also going to support yourself and learn to support yourself for some of the activities.
And how do they do that with you at an early age?
Go find a job. You know, get out there, hammer the pavement. And I'll give you an example. I wanted to play hockey, organized hockey. My parents said, it is kind of expensive. You have brothers and sisters. So prove to us that you really want to do this. I went and got a job. I had enough money to buy skates and some of the equipment. And for Christmas, they bought the rest.
Come on.
And of course, I mean, when I was on the ice, I really enjoyed what I was doing because I felt like I contributed to that.
You earned it. You feel a sense of reward.
100%.
Did you do any sort, like at what age did you really start to track your finances? Because that's a big one.
Early age, actually, I was probably 10 years old. My parents set up a bank account and they sat down with me and said, okay, let's talk about, you know, if I give you allowance, you're going to put a portion into your bank account. They were trying to, you know, help me understand the value of money.
Right. One thing that I did when I was in high school was as money started to flow in, my sister showed me just a very simple spreadsheet that I can use to track the income coming in and the expenses out.
Right.
Did you have anything like that? I mean, obviously you have accountants and stuff now, hopefully, but you know, just starting out, you're starting to get some money. And at what age did you start to do something like that?
Well, that was the 90s. So that was before, you know, computers, right? Sam, come on. It was on Sanskrit. Come on.
I'm not from that world.
You're not from that world. No, we did. I absolutely love spreadsheets, and I looked at different software, but Excel was my friend. And, you know, there's templates you can get. But yeah, I had buddies who shared stuff with me, and we created budgets for ourselves. And that was a big part of what we did. And, you know, I probably wasn't the most popular kid, but that is something that got me up in the morning.
Hey, hopefully you're popular now. Let's hope so. You're popular with me. All right. So I want to ask you about the hustle culture that my generation receives. I'm sure you see it. You're on Facebook, maybe TikTok. I don't know if you're on TikTok.
What are those things?
I know, eh? It's crazy. So what do you think about the hustle culture advice that our generation gets all the time? I mean, you see guys be posting, oh, get off your butt, you know, go to the gym, oh, go to work, wake up at 6 a.m. And then Alex Hormozi posts, I know 100 millionaires who wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning. So what's your opinion on the hustle culture that you see today?
There's a lot of noise out there, and it can create more confusion and stress. I think everyone's unique. Everyone's different. You need to sit down. You need to figure out what your story is, right? What gets you up in the morning? And I'll give you an example. I had an executive coach who I hired, and she said, listen, these are some of the key principles that I believe people should follow. One was getting up super early.
Really?
But you know what? I didn't like getting up super early. I found to be more productive late at night. And she said, you know what? That makes sense. That's what you like to do. That's your cadence. We'll roll with it. And so I think looking and watching what people do is fantastic. But I think some of the stuff, you know, that's being published, it's interesting, but it's not applicable to everyone.
Yeah. I got to ask you this. How much time do you spend on social media?
Does LinkedIn count? Is that social media?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that would be.
Okay. I would say...
couple hours a day?
No.
Oh, really?
I would say 4 or 5 hours a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I find typically is the more I'm on social media, actually, the more, I guess the word sad is I get. I compare myself.
Right.
So how do you fight that feeling of comparing yourself to other people, especially in my generation, because they do that a lot?
Yep. So one of the things that my coach got me to do early on is write down my goals. What am I looking to achieve? And put it in my wallet. And you're right. You can get sidelined, sidetracked, and depressed pretty quickly by looking at people who, let's say, look more successful than you do. Right. At the end of the day, I pulled out the little script, you know, when I go buy something, and you look at your goals and say, hey, this is me. This is what I'm set out to do.
Jim, I love it. That's all the time that we have for today. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll have you back on. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, I'ma rule the world. I'ma rule the world. Yeah.